Well, my batteries were just worn down, you know. I was just really tired of competing. I had spent literally my whole life from the time I was 8 years old to the time I was 26 competing full time. So I was just tired. And in 97, I was talking to my then boss, Bruce Raymond. I said, hey, if I don't win the title this year, I'm going to take the next year off and see what happens. If I do win the title, I'm going to try to go for one more. Because that would have been like a 5 in a row thing. So I said, just depends on how this year goes. And so then in '98, I was real clear I was going to take time off the tour. It was just, I didn't know how long. I asked the ASP at the time if I could have a spot where I didn't want to come back, and they said, sure, you know, you can't be 43, but you know. So.
That's weird. I was going to ask for a spot.
I'd give it to you. You can have my spot if you want it.
Really?
I will retire Pipeline right now.
There's actually a funny side to my story, because the year he came back was the year that I left, and that was the year that you came back, and the ASP gives out they had 2 wild cards at the time, and usually those are injury wild cards, and but Kelly decided to come back. So
I was mentally incapacitated.
Yes, you were. Kelly decided to come back, so one of the injury wild cards went to Kelly, of course, granted his wish, and so I was actually applying for one of the injury wild cards, and I didn't get it. So I decided.
Shane got it.
Yeah, Shane Dorian got it, and I decided that was the time to go down a different path in my life and not go back. You know, that would have meant for me kind of like what Kelly said. It's like I'd been competing since I was 10 years old up to that point, and the thought of going back onto the QS tour and like grinding it out and going through that whole mess just didn't even seem like an option. You know, I just said, cool, I'm going to walk away. My main sponsor at the time, Gotcha, filed for bankruptcy. It was a good year. So, yeah. Yeah, I was sponsorless. I just had a baby. Fell off tour.
Broke your arm. Broke your wrist.
I broke my hand that year. Yeah, a lot of things going for me.
That was 2001 too. It was 9/11, and that's actually what played into the scenario for Rob, was that which was strange because a year before 2000, Rob wins Pipe Masters. He's runner-up in the world. 2001 happens. Only 5 events because of 9/11. They cut the whole Europe leg off. There's only 5 events that year. I think he missed 2 of them because he had a broken wrist and his baby. There was complications with the first, with the leading up to the first birth. So. What did you do, 2 or 3 events that year?
Yeah, I think I surfed in 2 events.
Yeah, so it goes from second in the world to like off the tour. It was really, and then there's only 2 wild cards up. Me and Shane are like his 2 best friends on tour, get the spot. It was just that's where like things get kind of strange, you know. And Rob just kind of got the raw end of the deal there, and I didn't foresee that happening ahead of time. I'm sure there's people out there who will write stories and think that I planned that because I'm so competitive. But about a month or 2 beforehand, ASP asked me and said, we're thinking maybe you'd want to come back next year. Do you want this wild card? And I spent about a week thinking about it, and I just went, okay, I think I'll accept it. I'm kind of reluctant because I really enjoyed being off tour. So I guess I passed the baton of
Thanks.
being off tour, which was, to be honest, I think I enjoyed my time off tour more than most of the time back on tour at this point. So I might have to join you soon.
You're welcome to come hang out anytime, man. It's not a bad place to be.